Hello, this is Jupiter, and welcome back to Prism Fantasy, where we bring you the scoop on real topics and information about spirits and beings, magic and alchemy, and other metaphysical and supernatural topics. I have spoken to you previously on behalf of the Fire Guardian Pele and the Air Guardian Quetzalcoatl. In this video, I will be talking about the Water Guardian, who is most popularly known as Leviathan. Taladar is what he was called by other dragons. Most deities go by multiple names, so immortals known in some cultures are actually the same immortals in another culture being called by a different name. While many civilizations have fallen, the deities still live on to be worshipped. Since Leviathan is the name most frequently used to address him, I will be using this name instead of Taladar. Leviathan is genderless, but he prefers to be referred to as male. With the order of the higher powers and creators, once Earth is completely formed, Leviathan sacrificed himself to become the guardian of the water element, and he became the water to fill up the Earth all over. As the water guardian, his age is not that far from the Earth's own age. His age is 4.417 billion years old, and he was born after the fire element. Leviathan is the one who is responsible to cool down the earth and prevent the earth from overburning. He showers the whole earth and leaves some room for the fire element to survive. He also fills in those deep earth spaces that is the sea, and also has left some high mountain volcanoes. He causes the earth's vibrations that pushes the water to flow up and also to flow down, that creates waterfalls and rivers. The combination of earth and water gives birth to the wood element, while the combination of fire and water gives birth to the air element. Water is hardly worshipped by any living creature. Many don't actually know that water has a spirit and that it is Leviathan's blood. 54,288 BC. This was the birth of Atlantis. The civilization of Atlantis started at the center of the world and lasted until 30,459 BC. This is when the Atlantis civilization drowned. This civilization was disgraced because their extremely advanced technology, magic, and the whole entire kingdom was powered by the energy harvested from the center of the Earth's core. Now, harvesting the core of the Earth is like digging up the heart of the Earth, which will make the Earth become unstable. The Atlanteans may have been very advanced in technology and magic, but they never cared enough for nature. The Atlanteans were prideful, egotistical, and just very self-invested in all that they did. They also didn't worship any deity because most of them were very confident with just their own intelligence. Them being self-centered is why exactly they couldn't see that what they were doing could cause an implosion of the earth. Knowing that it would cause Earth to explode, Leviathan took matters into his own account by raising the sea level slowly, and he also asked Quetzalcoatl, who is the guardian of the air, to help by carrying his water and rain all over the kingdom of Atlantis. Now, the Atlantean people did realize the water was rising, so they built walls to block the water from flowing into their city. It was like a challenge to them, and of course the Atlanteans built faster than Leviathan's rising sea levels. The Earth Guardian is very compassionate, even to the point of having fallen ill by allowing her heart to be harvested and not doing anything about it. But unlike the other elements, Leviathan leans more to the dark side due to never being worshipped and never being loved by living beings. But then he just can't allow the whole earth to die. His last card to play is to use all of his power to create a shock underwater, which also shakes the earth and causes an earthquake. When earthquakes trigger the wall built by the Atlanteans to fall, their city fell with it. Every time Atlanteans attempted to rebuild the walls in the city, Leviathan would slam his water on Atlantis. And after the third earthquake, the Atlanteans called on more people to help with magic to fix back the damage and rebuild the walls. Then, at the 259th earthquake, you bet the Atlanteans are getting tired or just about worn out. At the 351st earthquake, the Atlanteans finally gave up and many packed their stuff to leave the city. When the 355th earthquake happened, Leviathan delivered his final blow, which caused the entire land of Atlantis to crack and split. Water instantly flowed into the whole city and Atlantis sunk very quickly. Leviathan drowned 28 million lives. With concentration to his water pressure, he also destroyed devices that Atlanteans built for harvesting Earth's core energy. In the aftermath of Atlantis, the effects of the Atlanteans did cause the Earth to be in critical condition. Earth was unstable, and in 27,446 BC, new deities arrived on Earth. They knew the condition of the Earth, and they were able to heal the Earth's wounds. They are known as the Egyptian deities. Using their own technologies, they built a center pyramid to the Earth, and they even built other pyramids in other regions of the world that all connect to each other. The purpose of these pyramids is that they act as solar generators and Earth stabilizers. This topic I will uncover more in the next video when we interview the guardian of the Earth element. Now fast forward to 156 AD. This is where the birth of Abrahamic religions began. And like other religions, these religions are very focused on one God that has a human face that gives glory to humans with a chosen one that saves the entire humanity. The way of Abrahamic organizations is like a sort of pyramid scheme with one leader at the very top, while below are high-ranking followers, then the governments, and then nobles, and lastly, worshippers. This is actually a system created by humans because no god or deity would apply their rules to all humans. Immortals would never force you to follow and worship them unless you want to. In ancient times, humans are the worst, and because of greed, they would grow their power and wealth by forcing everyone into a religion, or they would kill those who would resist. This especially is what Christians did. In early times, for those people who are pagans that worship other deities, spirits, and nature, Christians would force them to join or be killed, to convert. When causing war with pagans, the pagans would fight with magic and counter them with black magic. This caused pagans to be feared, and to make matters worse, pagans were then labeled as witches, satanists, demon worshippers, etc., and must be killed at all costs. With a huge number of followers, Christianity won, and over their victory war against pagans, they uncovered many types of deities whose names and information were recorded by the pagans. Now, the Christians took all the information and they forced all those who were alive to translate the unknown language for them, or else they'd be tortured. And once the translations were complete, they twisted it, gave all deities a bad name and bad reputation, and then they mass-produced all this false information and distributed it all to their followers. All the churches will teach their followers to avoid and fear these deities. At that time, Leviathan almost had a lot of worshippers, but sadly, with the Abrahamic religions going on a killing spree, they killed all of Leviathan's worshippers. Now I want to clarify too that the Abrahamic God is not to blame. It's all the fault of humans, the greed, the ego, pride of humans that always crave power and wealth. It's this type of corruption that leads to our own downfall, and this is why many people just follow blindly to be slaughtered like sheep. Anyway, fast forward again to 833 AD. A civilization known as Babylon also had all of the information about other deities. They knew Leviathan didn't have worshippers and armies. Thinking that since Leviathan is a deity of water, they purposely built a very high tower that could withstand tsunamis near the beach, thinking that Leviathan can't reach because he uses the power of the seas. Once the tower was almost complete, they moved many records and information into the tower, knowing that it is guaranteed safe from the water. the leader of the tower stood on top of his tower and started insulting and challenging Leviathan. So of course, Leviathan accepted his challenge and with the force of the ocean. Now he sent 4 tsunami waves to hit the tower and nothing happened. The tower took no damage. All the while, the challenger continues to laugh and insult him. After sending a total of 7 waves, Leviathan gets an idea. Leviathan asked Quetzalcoatl to carry his water and drop the rain on the whole tower. The challenger gathered many people to laugh, thinking that was all Leviathan could do, that was all he was capable of. Suddenly, a lightning struck the tower, causing a small shake to the tower. Some people in the tower became afraid, and some were still laughing. The tower was in a wet condition, which means it is weak to resist against electricity. After several lightning strikes, the fear turns to laughter because nothing happened. But they actually just didn't know that these lightning strikes was causing damage to the important part of the building's stability. The lightning just kept on striking, and they still laughed and continued to insult him. But by the 34th strike, Quetzalcoatl unleashed his final blow, and the whole tower exploded and collapsed. The tower opened up, leaving those people exposed to water, and Leviathan sent his one big wave to wash them all away and pull them all into the ocean, which killed them. This is just another example of why one should never challenge nature. Pride and arrogance will always get punished. Nature has no good or evil, and if they dare to do it, then they dare to accept the responsibility. Furthermore, if you challenge without setting any rules, then death may just be inevitable. I hope this video has helped you guys know more about Leviathan and understand why he has flexed on us humans a couple of times. Please support us by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Visit our shop, our Facebook page, our Discord server. All the links are down below, and feel free to drop a comment about what you think. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video where we will be interviewing the guardian of the earth element.